The first factor being lack of friends and family support. We are already aware of the phrase, "No man is an island," right? The aged are no exception. As they grow older and acquire more time on their hands, they would like to have a companion to keep them company through happy, tough, and exciting times. They need someone to socialize with and share new discoveries or worries with. Like any age group, they need a shoulder to lean on, and not having one can cause a strain on their emotional state. Another factor, which can be tied to the first one, is isolation. It can't be avoided that the elderly will be left alone at times, seeing as though their families have lives of their own now, and sometimes don't have the leisure to spend time with them. This, however, could lead the elderly to feel depressed, especially if they don't have any other outlet or activities to help keep their mind occupied. The third factor is illness. In Dr. Nelson's years of being a therapist, he noticed that most of the sick people are depressed, and most of the depressed people are sick. With further analysis, it can be concluded that since the elderly's activities are limited due to their sickness, the lack of such can be a viable cause for depression. They may also see their illness as a burden to their families, which also contributes to their sadness. The fourth factor is the loss of a loved one. Losing someone you love is an incredibly painful experience, and the elderly know the feeling all too well. Being at the age they are now, it could be possible that they have lived decades with their loved ones long gone. Their mere existence without their loved ones by their side is enough to bring out feelings of depression, especially if they don't have anyone to console them. The last factor is losing one's purpose in life. Dr. Nelson explained that people tend to live longer if they have a purpose in life. The elderly tend to experience this feeling of uselessness as they age, seeing as though they have done all that there is to do and are unable to do anything more. They are already retired, their kids have families of their own, and they are unable to do much activity because of their age. Instead, they are stuck at home with nothing much to do. This brings out the feeling of uselessness within them, and is often what causes their depression. Dr. Nelson also clarified different signs and identifying whether an elderly is experiencing depression or is about to suffer from it. These signs are intense feeling of loneliness, isolation, and losing interest in things and activities that gave happiness to them before. Of course, every problem in this world has a solution, and this is no exception. Dr. Nelson advised that in order to help the elderly cope with their depression, they must either seek medical help, which is what the citizens in the United States have been doing, or try and spend more time with their families, which is what the elderly here in the Philippines have been doing. He also believes that spending more time with one's family is the more healthier option than seeking medical attention. He also added that being in a retirement home is not so bad a solution to avoid depression, especially if the aged individuals come from a dysfunctional family. All in all, depression among the elderly has lessened through the years, albeit not everyone realizing it was depression in the first place. It should not be dismissed as a mere feeling of temporary blues or just a normal occurrence, because it seems to be prevalent among them and should not be laughed upon or criticized as some sort of phase they are going through. It is actually a very serious matter to be addressed in order to ensure our elderly's happy remaining days on earth, because its effects can lead to nothing but a miserable life full of negativity. On the other hand, it should not be treated as something incurable, because it can be, and with the simplest of solutions yet, love and care. So the next time you see your grandparents, give them a big hug and say, "I love you," because you might not see it, but it would mean a lot to them and can bring them more.
Created using Powtoon.